Good morning, students, and welcome back once again to the biology class. And please wait 1 second and pray before we start. Okay, today we are going to continue the topic reproduction. So we have seen different modes of reproduction in lower organisms, like in binary fission in amoeba, and in Leishmania. We already saw the binary fission. There is a difference that it takes place only through a particular place, but amoeba it can take place through any plane. And then again in Plasmodium, which causes malaria, the fission is multiple fission, meaning many cells are produced at the same time from one cell. And then next one is fragmentation. Example given is Spirogyra, that is alga that is living in the water bodies. It is a multicellular. Multicellular means many celled, and the thread is very long. When the thread breaks into pieces, each piece can grow into a separate individual. That is in Spirogyra. Regeneration, as I already told you, regeneration is not actually a method of reproduction, but if a organism cut into so many pieces by accidentally or some other method, and or by decomposition or something, if one piece is remaining, that piece can become a complete organism. Example given is planaria. So planaria worm, you can see if you cut into pieces, and each piece can grow into a complete organism. But this one is not a method of reproduction, but it is possible. But in multicellular, again another multicellular organism like a hydra, buds are produced from specialized cells. Buds will become larger and larger, and finally it will get detached from the mother organism, mother hydra, and so that is how reproduction takes place in a hydra. Then we were discussing about vegetative propagation. Vegetative part of the plant means any part other than reproductive part, that is the flower. The other part is called vegetative part, like a root, stem, leaves. So many plants can be propagated or reproduced using their stem, root and leaf. So many examples are there. And even grafting and layering that we usually do, these are also methods of vegetative propagation. I already explained that vegetative propagation has a lot of advantages, and the young ones will be similar to the parent plant. So it is a method of propagating many plants of agricultural value. Then also we studied that from leaves, new plant can arise from the leaves. Bryophyllum is an example. In Bryophyllum, you studied that the part of the leaf, it becomes the notches from the leaves can develop into a complete plant. So that is the example is Bryophyllum. And that is where we stop. Next example, one more example from asexual reproduction is spore formation in Rhizopus. So this is another method of reproduction, spore formation. In spore formation, the example is Rhizopus. Rhizopus is actually the one very familiar to you, and this organism, they lives on wet food material, bread, wet surfaces. Suppose this is a bread, you can see these spores of Rhizopus. You can see rubber sheet വീട്ടിലുള്ളവർക്ക് അറിയാം. If you just during this season. If you examine the rubber sheet, a lot of dust-like things are there. These are actually the spores. When these spores fall on a bread, you can see it will start growing, and tubular structures inside grow into the bread, and these tubular structures are called hypha, which we cannot see from outside, and it is very small. Hypha singular, hyphae plural. So you can see it is growing inside the bread, and then some of the hyphae, it will come above the outside the bread or any other surface or a perpendicular. This one, at the tip of this one, the hyphae will become bob-like a ball, it will enlarge, and this one is called sporangium. So this stage you can see that part of the bread may be some slight greenish in color, and this is the sporangium. If you examine inside the sporangium, so many dust-like structures are there, which you cannot see with your naked eye, and these dust-like structures are called spores. So when the sporangium, this is called the sporangium, sporangia plural. So when the sporangium become mature, you can see when the sporangium become mature, it will break open. It will break open and the spores will be released. You can see this will be released into the air, and it will be carried to various parts, different parts. When it happens to fall on another suitable place, it will start again grow, and it will become a new rhizopus plant. So this is the method of it's very commonly that is happening around us. So it is a method of reproduction in rhizopus by spores. So some questions are given in the textbook which we will answer later. So what is the advantage of, one question is here, how will the organism benefited if it reproduces through spores? What is the advantage of this one, reproduction through spores? Advantage is there. You can see these spores can easily carried away by wind, very slight wind, it will be through the atmosphere, it will be carried, and it you can go to a faraway place and it can spread very easily. That is a main advantage of one main advantage of reproduction through spores. Second one is the spores are thick, it will not be easily damaged very soon. So which the answers we will discuss later. So these are the different methods of asexual reproduction which we studied, and now we are going to see sexual reproduction. So you already studied that in sexual reproduction two individuals, both male and female, are involved. So that is a method of reproduction is called sexual reproduction. You already studied that in asexual reproduction during DNA replication, slight change in the DNA replication, it can cause variations in organism. We studied already that yesterday also I explained that bacteria, all the bacteria in a colony will not be alike after the asexual reproduction. There may be variations, and if there is a sudden change in the environment, some can survive because of this variation. The temperature change in water, which I already explained. In sexual reproduction, you can see the variations will be more because the DNA from two individuals will be combined. For example, DNA from a male cell, male gamete, or is also called sperm in humans and higher animals, sperms, and ovum or egg, female gamete, or egg, that is the female cell, male cell and female cell, and they combine together to form a zygote. Zygote is formed, From this zygote, a new individual is produced. From this new zygote, new individual is produced. So, meaning the characteristics of father and characteristics of mother will be combined in the zygote. So, the young one, the child will get the characteristic of both the parents. But there is one problem. How when the male gametes and female gamete, or when the gametes are produced, when the gametes are produced, again DNA should be reduced to half. So, meaning if for example in human being there are 46 chromosomes, the DNA is kept in 46 chromosomes, and if the sperm's male cell in the egg contain 46 chromosomes, 46, so that you can see 92 chromosome will be there in the young one. So, this is not possible because doubling your chromosome. Even if there is a slight change in the chromosome number, drastic problems are, severe problems are there. So, there should be some method to reduce number of chromosome, so that that total chromosome number will be 46. So, chromosomes contain DNA. So, the chromosome number should be reduced. So, there is a special type of, even I told you, even 46, 47 chromosome means there is a big disease, and 45 also, Down syndrome. So many diseases are there which you will study in plus 2. 45 or 47, if there is a slight change in the chromosome number or a change in the chromosome, can cause big deformities in the young one. Now, there is a, so before the formation of male cell, male gamete or sperm, there is a male and a female gamete, there is a special type of division. After this cell division, you can see chromosome number will become 23. So, chromosome number become 23, meaning DNA became half. From the total amount, DNA became half here. So, 23. These two are combining. You can see again the 46 chromosome is maintained in the young one. This zygote is going to become a child. So, it is maintained by a special type of division. The name is not given in the textbook. It is called meiosis. So, meiosis is a type of division in which the chromosome number becomes half. The amount of DNA becomes half, and so that is meiosis. So, the sperm, the male gamete, male cell, it will have only 23 chromosomes, half the amount of DNA, and 23 in ovum or egg. So, zygote will have the same amount of DNA as the parents. So, one of these gamete is should be moving, is moving. So, meaning it can move from it can move. The other one, it is storing food material, and you know which one is moving. And the sperm, that is the gamete, male gamete, and you can see it can move through the fluid, which you will study later. And the egg, which is motile. Egg is not motile, sperm is motile. Egg is stationary. So, egg contains reserved food material, and that is another difference between male gamete and female gamete. The egg is not motile, but it contains stored food, and then plants, but in male it is motile. Now, we are going to see reproduction, sexual reproduction in plants, and there is a special group of plants which can produce flowers, and this group of plants which produce flowers are called angiosperms. Angiosperms are reproduced by using flowers. So, flower is the male and female reproductive organ in plants. So, angiosperms, the male reproductive part is called stamens, and the female reproductive part is called carpel or pistil. So, flowers. If you examine a flower, these are the most important part of a flower. You can see that a flower is having the outermost part of the flower is usually greenish in color, and that is called sepal or calyx. Another one more name is there, sepal, and the second part, which is usually colored part of the flower, beautifully colored in many plants. This is called petal, and inside you will get the long structure. This is called stamen, and this is the male reproductive part of a flower. The stamen is having anthers here. So this is the anther of the stamen. This is the filament. This part is called filament. So the male reproductive part of the flower is stamen. Stamen is made up of, you can see, anther and a filament. And female reproductive part inside you can see, this is called carpel or pistil. So this one is called pistil or carpel. If you examine a carpel or a pistil, it has a bulged part called ovary, and this part, elongated part, is called style, and this part is called stigma. All these three parts together are called pistil or carpel. So this is the structure of a flower, a longitudinal section of a flower, which can be asked in the examination, and we will see the details later about the parts present in the ovary and all other things we will discuss later. So this is a structure of a flower. We will continue in the next class. Okay, thank you.